some kind of a visitor information center that would be open in the summer, but not now. We're in fall season. Here's the sign that tells us to go to Thingvellir this way. Okay. We're getting close to something. There's a bit of a waterfall up on top there. Now it's going to show up. Ah yes, this is definitely a place of action here. Here we are trudging up the path to the waterfall, which is up yonder behind those rocks. Andy B just can't get away from the geese. There they are.
Pretty colors, though, aren't they?
Yep. Take a good look at one of them. They got red beaks.
Kurt, why don't we take that and hit you guys?
I don't know what we're getting into here, but the rocks are getting higher, and this looks like the pictures I've seen of the Parliament. Now we're coming up to the waterfall, and the steam is just bubbling out of there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Alan is the explorer here. Massive rocks and water. Beatrice and Ingeborg. Hey, look at this way. Hey. Yeah. Clambering over the rocks. Beautiful. Here cometh the water.
First going checking out the rocks, and we're gonna take B and oh, sounds like B and is not gonna cooperate here. Kurt taking a picture of me taking a picture. How about that? Smile.
Yeah, we got a bunch of tourists coming up us. Yeah. They were bundled up. You almost think it was cold here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought this was maybe the building. Okay.
Alright, here's the church. Houses on the other side again too. Oh, we'll head back for the truck. pictures? Take a look at that birch tree there. Doesn't look very big to me, not very tall, it looks kind of scruffy. But I guess that's the best I can do in this country. Now my red and green clad friend, take a shot of the rift. Other side of the ridge looking at the same rift. Only tourists are here. And this is where the big rift is here. And they say that this valley is widening. The floor of the valley is getting sinking by millimeters. I can get a little closer to the edge there, but I'm under strict orders not to dare to do that. Actually, what we're looking at here is the mid-Atlantic rift that extends right through the Atlantic Ocean. It extends through Iceland and continues on. Looking up here, we see on the right side the North American plate, on the left side the European plate, as they meet here. It's a very interesting geographical. We are walking down the canyon. It's all part of that rift valley. Very interesting here. And the rains are falling slightly, and it's pretty cool out here. I would guess the temperature is how much, Alan? Alan thinks it's 62 degrees. He hasn't got an idea. It's probably about 2 degrees Celsius. Here we're at the bottom end. Before, this is the ridge we're going to climb over. Top of the rocks there. And over on the other side, we can see that little church is a parish parsonage we were at before. And we came across this way. Rocks on the other side is where the hotel is, where we're going for coffee. And I said you were like a mountain goat going down that mountain. Yeah.
I can make her like that.
Oh, you can, eh? Okay. There you go. We missed a shortcut to where we want to go, so we took the highway. This is the highway. This is Highway 351. It looks like it's divided highway here. No, it's just on top of the hill. There we go.
Get to the right.
Nice farmhouse in the back. Beautiful.
Construction ahead. Maybe I have to go back.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Highway 351, and we're heading just about straight east. There's our compass there. And there's our able driver, Captain Allen. Fertile valley here. Farms dispersed all over the place. It looks like we've got some interesting things happening in front of us here.
There's going to be a detour.
It would be nice if there was. If there is no detour, then we're in trouble.
Maybe he can pick us up with that thing.
It just switches over, set us on the other side. Then hey there.
Maybe that's it. We have to turn around.
He's getting out of our way here. Maybe. Maybe. Oh yeah, he's just digging himself in there. That's it, Al. That's all you get. Can't handle that, you shouldn't drive in Iceland.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're
There we
driving.
go.
Abraham, thank you.
And we are going. Yeah, thank you. I can't do waving and recording and everything.
At the same time?
Come on. Share the load, girls. continuing on our trip on Highway 351 here.
The road is changed to red.
Yep.
What's that street called?
We've entered the red zone.
In America? I don't know, but I know New Brunswick.
Lift ups.
So they're obviously somewhere. Deep ditches. Looks like a beautiful farmyard coming up here. Alan is just pointing out to me that behind us, immediately behind us, is some good scenery, so I'm just going to switch around. Swing around here. There they are. Really enjoying the sights of Iceland. We are in Geyser Histar. Horse riding facilities available. Okay, where is the geyser?
No, this is what the geyser. There's a ski.
It's a restaurant.
But I think
And there's a skidoo. There we are in the geyser field. Water is bubbling up. Looks like a little house there with the steam rising up through the roof, through the chimney and through the side window, and before the house here we can see water bubbling up once in a while. Not quite ready to erupt into a major eruption here. Works our way over yonder. There's a blow. I said we missed the big blow. There it goes again. Not that high though. Give us another one here. Come on. There we go. Looks like our ladies have decided to go back home. Here's another one, but haven't got the name of this one yet. We're waiting for the eruption here. There's lazy. Beautiful clear water, although I don't think I want to take a dip in that. Maybe just a little bit on the warm side. One again. Here's another one, and his name is Konungsberg. And he hasn't blown since we came here, so I kind of think he's just fake. The water is definitely very hot coming out of there. That little guy is steaming off again. He's quite active. But we're still waiting for the big one. Mr. Geyser, after whom all other geysers in the world are named. But he's not blowing for us today. Been here for, probably about 20 minutes now. He hasn't come off yet. Might have to leave because daylight is facing the meeting on us. There he goes. There he goes. But that's not the big one. There's the water rushing back into the hole again. And it comes again. Back down again. Whoa. Runs in again. Looks like that was the last blow. There it comes. Whoa. One more little shot. Filling up again. It's bubbling in there. That looks like it was the last shot for a while. There's the name of the fellow that is just giving us a nice little shot there. Now he's just busy recharging. This is obviously a major tourist attraction here. But we noticed that everything is done so nice and neat, and everything shows prosperity. And we noticed that there are no hydro lines along the highways here like we have in Canada. Everything is buried underground here. You hardly ever see any hydro poles. The question really is, are we having fun yet? It's about 10 degrees outside and it's raining and it's windy. And Ingeborg stayed in the truck. And we're heading down waterfalls. Yeah, the waterfalls. Oh, ah. Bottom of the first stage, and then we go down into the gorge, because all we can see is the steam rising up there. Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine the kilowatts that you get out of that? Alright, here we're right close to the fall. The upper part, and looking down. Corner there. The river splits.
He works in the office and lives in Reykjavik. And this is another man, he's a steamer, seaman.
People are still living
Oh, yeah, they're all living.
Are your relatives that
Okay.
are living right now?
So, this leader here, which I fancy the most because he has the name of program. Anyway, any of them, we
So when you come back to Reykjavik, we will have called her or them and
some of them and
see if
ask
they
them.
could
That is
meet with you.
amazing. Oh, my.
So I'm gonna keep it
I
until I
want to
have
have
another.
another.
1999. I had a business when I started. That business was in Fullerton in California, and that business was growing while I was doing this in Iceland, so I had to choose, and I decided to choose the business that we started out with in Fullerton in 1990, but it's in Reykjavik now.
So you,
Easily.
No, the girl who was left behind, the daughter who was left
okay,
behind, she was left on a farm in Laxardal. Very likely
This is Crossroads.
Is it still
Just across from. And we can do that during
Or
the.
maybe later, maybe that's enough for.
there, you know what? There, Kurt has coffee
Oh.
there, if you like
That's,
already.
This is when she's quite elderly.
Yeah, and this was your father, right?
This is my father, this is my uncle.
and the other.
These people, this is my mother, and this is his wife,
Okay.
and these are of the other, like my aunt's husband, and this is my aunt, married my other uncle. This is Albert Holmes' wife. This is Albertson, who married my.
So during our trip and before you leave, you will have to tell me all the things that you have told my brother and my wife about your life in Canada and all that, and your ancestors, and what you know about them. Of course, this document that you gave me was quite informative.
Yes.
Nelson
Did a good job.
He prepared that.
He did that?
Yes.
He is coming to Iceland this summer.
Yes,
Did you know
I
this?
intend to meet him. Yes.
Exactly.
The 24th or so, I think he said.
Is he living in your area or?
He's
lives
gonna
in
be-
Mesa.
He's going to be in Reykjavik already. I think he is here now, but
Okay.
he's not going to be in Hofsós until towards the end of the month.
That's right. He lives halfway between where Alan and I were born. Alan was born in Gimli, and I was born in Riverton. Riverton is northeast of Gimli, right? North. And he lives in Mesa. He's got a beautiful place along.
Your mother is English, right?
English and Scotch.
English and Scotch. But your grandfathers, where do they come from? Both your grandmothers were Icelandic, right?
I don't know about one grandfather. My dad was born out of wedlock to Haldora, here,
Oh.
the one you were,
That's interesting.
and she would never
I
tell
like
him.
those stories.
That's
why we are alive.
Do you want to hear this? Do you want to hear this? When you got into bed that night after listening, when you shared about your mom, you know, I got into bed and I got the giggles because Alan had been reading some of the Bjornsson history. This is a friend of ours,
Neighbor.
and he had read where, you tell us better.
Well, this one grandparent in there someplace had 14 children, but he had 5 different women. Women. 2 of them were his wives. But he had 5 women, 14
Children
children.
with 5 women.
Yes.
Mhm.
And at least 3 of them were actually helpers on the farm or house cleaners.
Oh, my grandfather had only 2, so.
Well, this
I like
this-
it.
this-
You know what?
I didn't mention that.
He anyways, I thought, would this not be a joke? If we all get to heaven and find her, that was your mother that he read about. Like, who knows? It's just so amazing. But I guess these stories are pretty plentiful.
But I'm sorry, I didn't get where you said your other grandfather came from.
He was Scotch. I don't know where he came from. I just know that his dad was Scotch and his mother was native. Now, I don't know if that was Indian or Métis. She was a very dark lady that we never knew. But I learned as an adult that that's pride. I think this proud Amma of mine wouldn't have any part of that, but she seemed to love my hobby. That's how it went, I guess. You know, in that day there was quite a bit of that, as I recall. They're Ukrainian, you know, like it was.
A different nationality.
Yeah.
Didn't have
The Icelanders were a proud race.
Your eye colors, are they blue or? Your skin, is it you are where you have dark hair or?
Yes, it was black. I can vouch for that, yeah.
And do you know about your, was it through your mother's?
I think it's my mother's very dark.
Your mother was, yes.
My father had blue eyes.
Serious, what the cake on the table.
He was Icelandic.
He was. He was pure.
Pure
Icelandic.
Icelandic.
He was, yeah. And so,
He was the one that got lost his arm. Yes.
oh, you read about that?
I just read the document last night.
He won medals. As a matter of fact, he still hangs in the Gimli Arena. They have a place. We noticed that when we were there at a hockey game last winter. They still have it hanging there.
All
Only
right,
one that's
we're
got
on
any
our
water
way
in it.
to, where are we going, Homovic?
Yeah.
Okay, and
In
then
a hurry.
in front of us, over to the left, we have a powerhouse kind of affair. And in front of us is gun logger and Siri leading the way. We're heading up to the North Country here to trace back distance and lots of distant cousins. We're just going around the north end of the lake here. It's the biggest natural lake in Iceland. There are some larger man-made lakes, but this one, the one we're just going around now, is the biggest man-made lake.
The little house in the
Yep. Saw the hut there.
You didn't get it. Somebody saw a sod hut and I missed it.
Sorry, we didn't see it.
But this is a typical scenery for this part of the country here. There's a lot of brush and rocks. I thought we can get a shot of the north end of the lake there, but they get shot past Allen here and get that nice big lake there with the sun shining on
My
it.
nose out of it.
Keep your nose out of it. Yeah, I'll do that now. Beautiful with the rain falling on it, and the sun shining on the lake, and the islands in there. And we have gone around the north end of the big lake and heading straight west now, and heading for Reykjavik here. And the scenery has changed from brushland to open prairie here.
From the Icelandic. He was reading that letter to you. Didn't they have a beautiful
Beautiful
way
farm
right
scenery down here. Settled in the valleys. This could almost pass for the foothills of the Rockies. There's a view of the city of Reykjavik as we're approaching, and we'll be turning right here. We're not going into the city. Now we're heading north, and of course the scenery has changed again. Here is a fjord coming in. Oops, not up there. There's the fjord. And we're just heading around the bottom end of that.
coming in.
Yeah.
So Ellen is a fjord, it has an insult type of
It's just the water.
This would be a, oops, there's a fence.
And then you want to shoot past my nose.
Okay, I just want to get, I just want to get a picture of the city of Reykjavik, and Ellen is driving like a maniac here. Maniac.
Trying to
There's
keep
that
up.
huge church overlooking the city. You're trying to get a hold of that. Look at the fortress here, whatever that might have been. Must have been for the Icelandic Indians. Whoa, is that ever something, eh? I wonder what that is all about.
very fancy on the top.
You keep track
I
of
can
speed.
tell
Okay.
you Kurt paid for that supper the other night.
So how much
Huh?
did you pay?
I don't know, but I'm just
Yeah,
gonna-
that was fun. That, I wouldn't, that doesn't count. Way to live, eh? Look at that. Yeah. There's another village here. What's the name of this village? Routerholm.
Oh! Yeah, you're getting that? Say that, Kurt.
Routerholm.
Roosterholt. Yeah, for Uncle Victor.
Routerholm. Here we're coming up to the
Tunnel.
tunnel that leads under the fjord here. So we'll just keep an eye on our tour guide here.
Lovely country. Now we're going to go into a tunnel you can't see any.
And there's the light at the end of the tunnel, finally. 6.4 clicks.
Ooh, it is bright.
Yeah. Of the fjord, that's where we came from, under there. It extends out here, so we saved a lot of driving. A long drive around there. There's some nice waterfront property overlooking the fjord and the mountains. We're still cruising along the end of this fjord. Is not in sight yet, so.
The little field, yeah.
There's the end of another fjord here. Oh no, it is not the end of another fjord. It's just sort of an arrows in the fjord. And it looks like a nice little town over on the other side there. Beautiful white buildings. There's a bridge around the fjord, across the end of the fjord there. We're heading north to Holmavik is our destination.
Is that the name of this town?
Yeah. The city had said that to be stopping since
Organized.
Isn't the last place called gas too?
No.
No.
Not yet.
There's one more.
I think there's Sunless tomatoes here, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
I'm recording, but I can't. There's something that switched on my camera, which I don't understand yet. Anyways, we're in a very rugged mountainous country here now.
Suggest reading the manual.
Yeah, well, how can I read the manual when I navigate and photograph and
Great.
do all these things? This film is a little bit bumpy, but we're cruising at 120 and a 90. And we're trying to keep up with this congressman. I am certainly very well, I mean, very pleased with the roads that we have in this country, eh? When they told us that some of the ring road is paved, well, we're on the ring road right now, and this is certainly paved.
Ready to pass again, that's all. Got his turn signal on.
Yeah.
He's just waiting to pass somebody else.
Pretty rough. Pretty rough country here. Look at this here. This is lava that's not so terribly old yet. There's just some moss growing on there. There's a town up ahead there. Some kind of an industrial plant or a big farm or whatever it might be. Oh boy, look at the mountains back in there. Quiet.
I bet he's pleased with the way
There we are. Opening up into the valley a little bit.
not majestic
Beautiful
looking
country.
up there, very commanding. Now look here, that.
Yeah, we're going to get a view of that commanding outlook there. I don't know how good it's going to show up on the...
We get all kinds of black speckles around it.
That is amazing.
We got a dirty windshield, and Alan's windshield wiper is not working, washer is not working. But you see the Land Cruiser just cruising by us here. Let's see the tip of the mountain sticking up between the clouds there. Beautiful. Scenery is absolutely gorgeous here. Looks like we're heading into the mountains now for a pass. Nice little river at the bottom here. The waterfalls all over the place. There's a nice little waterfall coming out. Get a little closer look at the mountain with the hiding in the cloud.
Sheep down on the edge there.
Sheep all over the place. Can't get away from the sheep in this country. We're going down, we've crossed the pass, and we're down on the other side. Beautiful country. The valley is starting to open up a little bit here. Having a long, cold winter here. There's a lot of hay piled up there. Right in the bay here, right out of the ocean. Dairy farm.
If
Some farms on the side of the hill
if they
there.
can get away with it, they'll just leave it alone.
It's like
It looks like our pavement has ended and we're on a kind of a mountain road here. The road is... It's nice and solid though. It doesn't have much for shoulders. And there's no railing on the side, but it's not bad. This is the county where Alan's great-grandfather lived for 3 years. Is that right, Alan?
Yeah. They were married.
And that's where he met his wife, which would have become Alan's great-grandmother. Very rugged, beautiful country here. Sheep grazing on the side of the hill there, and there's the fjord and the Atlantic Ocean ahead of us there. And of course the rock outcroppings here. Yeah, we're turning off to view the old farm, I suppose. Down here is where the farmstead was, where Alan's grandfather had lived, and where he met his wife. We've stopped here at the head of the road, and there's the fjord in the background, and Gunlogger and Siri are explaining everything to Bee and Alan. I'm going around there to get a better shot at him.
There they took our president come to in Greyfellowstate, and that is his farm. A farm in which each they own a 1/4 share.
How big would these farms have been?
In square kilometers, 200, 300. Most of the mountain. Their new beginnings at Camber were clouded, however, by the loss of their youngest daughter, Ragnhildur, in the early winter of 1879. That's the winter when they moved over. And their next child, Jónas Sveinsína, who died at Camber in July 1882. A son, Guðmundur, was born there in the spring of 1883, shortly before the family moved again, this time due to drifting sand that damaged the pastures and hay fields at Camber. The only place where that could come from is the mountain. You see there is no grass, there's no bricks in the mountain. It's called the Camber Mountain. And I have never heard this before, but my father told me that there was never any grass in the mountain because there's always a wind, blowing.
I never heard it balancing.
But it seems from this that he owned 1/4 share, and on the next part was my grandfather's brother. They were son of Magnus, who was brother to Svend. My grandfather's brother lived next door. When we just go, like 1 kilometer, you see that. So, and then in 1911, my father is 40. But this is in 1879. Like 96, I think the phone on the level, so in May of 1883, after 4 years at Camber, Sveinn and Halldóra moved back to the Strandarsýsla region with 4 children and took up residence at Ósbakseyri on the shore of Hvítuhraun, where they farmed for 3 years. That's what you're going to see tomorrow when you drive south of here. Víðivellir is a completed back to Víðivellir, but now we will drive a bit further to see where you, what you call the ancestors of your great-grandmother, all were in this area for decades, as I understand. And that was Halldóra, right? Ona Brekka.
In these ones, he's given me
Rio de Janeiro, that's a sugar hat. Lake here. Nobody's swimming in it either. It's not big enough to go water skiing.
There's a restaurant up here that is still open. Like a coffee break. It is big that it is, because late September you never know.
We're going to try that hotel for a coffee. I don't know if it's going to work. But hydro going across the fjord here.
We sail there, we think it's for...
You can get Alan's nose out of there and be okay. We're on a mountain road here, and you can see the potholes are just like in Canada. They're just about as frequent. And the tide is out in the fjord. And this is what they call in Iceland a mine.
gravel pits called the mine here, so.
We're coming to the end of the fjord here pretty soon. And this is the area where Alan's great-grandmother comes from. Her family lived here for some, what, 200 years?
He said 400 years, give or take. 400 or 200 years.
Throw in a few hundred years here and there. And from here we're going to wind up that mountain road that I can see from here, but the picture might not show it. We're going to go over the mountains and we're going to end up eventually in Homavik. Here we're getting onto the mountain road and we're starting for the hills here. The gunloader is just a tremendous tour guide.
Get rid of a coffee machine would be where they make it as you're talking.
Yeah.
Similar to what do you call those that David and Donna have on their
Cappuccino.
Yeah.
Press the button, grinds the coffee first, and then it does its thing and you press the button and down first and then you can't get it any fresher. I get it. And how much does it make a cup at a time?
We have an attitude indicator on